Hi guys, been sent a pretty awesome thing to review by one of the followers on my Facebook page and on this YouTube channel, a guy called Gavin Bannister. Thanks, Gavin. He sent me an early copy of Mortal Realms, which was apparently available locally to him. For those of you not familiar, Mortal Realms is GW's new part build magazine. Basically, it's the Agenor Sigmar version of Warhammer Conquest. This one is thick and chunky, so we'll get to see what's in it. What's fallen off the back already is a bunch of miniatures. We've got what looks like 9 chain rasps and 3 sequitors. So that's 3 guys from the Stormcast Eternals and 3 guys from the new Undead stuff. So that's pretty cool. Oh. Let's get in to have a look. This stuff is pretty well packaged, but if you remember issue 1 of Conquest, that was pretty well packaged too. How the packaging continues is anyone's guess. We've got 6 dice. They appear to be pretty much the same dice. Yeah, the roll's not bad. I'm just going to quickly show you that roll. Ooh. You can see kind of averaging out there. I say averaging out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's perfect. Perfect spread. They're light. They're a little small. But you know, for free, certainly worth a couple of quid of anyone's money. We got many bases. Ooh. How many bases do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which means most likely we have 10 chain rasps on this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm counting 9, but that looks like 10 there. 1 face, 2 face. No. It's a bit awkward to get an exact count, but it's all cool. You've got the leader holding his sort of candelabra trident thing there, and you've got some pretty fantastic quality models there. Again, pre-coloured, so you don't really need to worry too much about painting them. They do look fairly good. Same goes with the sequitors. The plastic on this one's actually feeling, so I'm just going to actually unpack. Plastic on this one's actually feeling a little softer than the plastic we've been getting from Conquest. I have remarked before about how the Conquest plastic is a little brittle, but this stuff is quite nice. And it's a beautiful golden colour. So again, you don't have to worry about painting this stuff if you're not into painting. The bases for these ones are larger bases, are very scenic, and they come with the models, so that's pretty cool. Sadly, I'm not playing Agenor Sigmar at the moment outside of Warcry, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. I did buy some of the Realm of Death models initially, but again, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with them, because they're incredible models. If you look at them, the detail on them is amazing. But they suffer the problem that every undead army's had since GW first began, and even prior to GW, they're very delicate. So I've got an amazing bunch of guys, but I'm utterly unsure as to how to transport them or what to do with them. But there you go. And I don't collect these guys. Don't get me wrong, the Stormcast Eternals are cool. I do like their armour, particularly the kind of blank face masks they get, but yeah, I just really haven't been attracted to them. Although, frankly, these models might change my mind. But I'm going to be giving one of these away at the end of the video, so keep watching to the end of the video. I'm going to be giving one of these guys away. I may keep one for myself just to paint, but I might keep these guys just to do a little assembly video, because the assembly on these is the easy to assemble stuff, and to be honest, I find it's not that easy to assemble. The stuff that goes in multiple parts is very easy, but these guys, you know, they can require a bit of trimming and just making sure you get everything in the right place. But if you can look at the quality, those bases are fantastic. Going on the Forbidden Realms scenery and the Mortal Realms scenery, you've got these awesome little secretor hammers, which I do like. So that's some pretty cool stuff there. To be honest, I'm looking at those and I'm really getting more and more sold on those. I have got a few other models, so I've got enough for a small group of guys and some Griffhounds. Anyway, before I go blathering on to myself, let's look at the magazine. Jesus, I love these models though. Just the quality on these models and all the little details they put in on both of them. Just GW's model quality is going from strength to strength. I'm a big fan of AOS. It's something I really have wanted to get into for a while. It's just I haven't been able to run too many armies. Right, first things first, 2 bits of this, free poster inside. It's got a nice explanation of the Mortal Realms. Ooh. Some more information there, click and collect stuff. Fantastic piece of artwork there. But I think this is what most people are going to want to see. Bear with me a moment, guys, we have to back up. Pretty fantastic big poster. I have got I've got a frame almost big enough for that, so I'm going to have to trim it down a bit, but that's going to go on the wall later. See, side view, you can see how portly I am. I am not a big man. That looks fantastic, and it's got some bits and pieces now. It's got the subscription stuff. Issue 2 is going to be $5.99. I imagine it's going to go up to the $7.99 price that Conquest is, though it may be more expensive. I don't know. What I've heard is the £8 price, and the initial Conquest was $1.99, $5.99, and then $7.99. So I imagine this is going to follow suit. Yep, no, I can see it on the back of the thing. I'll show you the back page later, but yeah, issue 2 $5.99, issue 3 $7.99. Sorry about that. A bit twitchy there, guys, but then again, I am tired. The first issue of the magazine is very thick and chunky, but that's what we expected from the first issue of the magazine. We'll see what else is in it. That's adding to some of the chunk. Right. No, just one A4 page. Is there another page? So some more bits there, so if you want to subscribe, you can. Make sure you don't miss out every week at your newsagent, so that's there. Right, here we have a small A5 piece of paper size. 3 bits for the secretors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. 10 bits for the chain rasps, so that looks cool. Also make a great little background or something. I might use that to actually take photos against later. That's pretty cool. So that and some standard bump in it. Still got some thickness to it. Anything else that's waiting to come out? No, 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 no. Nope, the pages are great quality. Page 1, got a nice description. Again, this one's from Hatchet Partworks with Ian, who you may or may not know has signed all the signature you'll find in the front of all the Conquest books. Mortal Realms, the Age of Sigmar. The God King Sigmar has returned. His storm hosts pour forth to remove the taint of chaos from all 8 of the mortal realms. Though his forces have had many great victories, the war is far from won, for Sigmar has many enemies. At the moment, Nagash being the foremost amongst them, because Nagash is probably the most powerful single being in the mortal realms. For those of you who don't know, there used to be a world called Warhammer. And in this Warhammer world, there were all kinds of good guys and bad guys. And then they blew it up! You fools! Damn you all to hell! Literally, they blew it up, and now the realms kind of float around chaos as spheres or flat pieces of land with rock out of them. If you've ever watched the old, insane Flash Gordon movie and seen the way the world's built there, the mortal realm is built in a very similar way. You know, and you can use realm gates to go from one realm to the other. Some realms have edges, some realms just float free in space. You have the realm of death, the realm of life, the realm of order, the realms of chaos, all kinds of weird stuff. And basically, when the world blew up, somehow humanity survived, as did orc manatee and goblin manatee and elf manatee and other manatees, and dwarf manatee and insane dwarf manatee and all other manatees. All the manatees. Sigmar the god, who was the god king of the humans in the Warhammer world, has literally, well, it's not so much he's come down from heaven, but as the Warhammer world blew up, it kind of went, blew up heavenward. And he controls one of the realms. There are normal humans in the realm, but what Sigmar has is Stormcast Eternals, which are his own badasses, which he sends out. And this one gives you a basic idea of the Age of Sigmar, and then here it's explaining what the Stormcast Eternals are. Sigmar was a barbarian chieftain that conquered a bunch of orcs, paved a way for the first enemy empire of humanity, which, unlike 40k, was just an empire on a world. It was the strongest human force, and in it he was worshipped as a god, particularly when he passed. Now he's come back as an actual god, and he's doing his best to save humanity. One of the things he's doing is he's using a bit of his own godly power and reforging great human heroes as Stormcast Eternals, basically these ultimate badasses with hammers. You can see they're all shiny gold, as befits a heavenly host. Some of them have wings. They all have hammers and weird stuff. They've got these big crossbows called bolt throwers. They are basically the Age of Sigmar's version of Space Marines. They're big, they're bad, and they're really fun to play, frankly. Here we go into the Sequitors, which are these guys here. Sequitors are stern warriors schooled in the magical arts. They channel power of the storm through magical weapons given to them by Sigmar, unleashing it with each swinging strike. So they're basically clerics, if you're familiar with D&D. They've got big, sharp, pointy hammers, and they can power magic through those hammers. If you wait here just a second, I'll be right back. These guys are Griffhounds, the type of kind of griffin / dog thing you can get. These guys are your standard Stormcast Eternals. They have a big shield and a massive hammer. And you've got these guys who I forget what they're called, but they have a massive double-handed hammer as well. So you've got a lot of cool stuff going on there. I really cannot afford to be getting this magazine as well, and I have a horrible feeling I've just fallen in love with it. Oh dear. I do not have the money for £16 a week thing, plus the other stuff on a roll. So that'll be fun. But here's more stuff with Sequitors, explain what they are. Going through, the war gear, covering everything. They draw magic from the power of Azir. Azir is the realm of light. Plumes and crest. The colour and design of the Stormcast Eternal's plume and the crest lets his allies know which unit of warriors he belongs to, even in the heat of battle. Enchanted robes. Sequitors are called on to fight enemies who possess magical powers. The robes are blessed by Sigmar himself, protecting the warrior beneath from all manner of deadly curses and hexes. Spirit flask. Sequitors often carry a glass spirit flask. When shattered, these flasks release magical enemies that can be used to heal allies or damage the Sequitor's enemies. Basically mana grenades. Nice. Consecrated pendant. Sigmar warriors often carry these pendants to help protect them from harm. And Storm Smite Great Mace, which is this kind of axe, hammer, mace thing. Mighty weapon, crushing the enemies in incredibly powerful strikes. So that's explaining there. We've got Shyesh, the Realm of Death. Fantastic pull-out map there. Showing you all the various realms and even naming them. You'll notice there's quite a bit of sort of Egyptian style names there. That's because the undead and the gods of the dead in this realm had an Egyptian theme in the last one, and so they've got a bit of an Egyptian theme in this one in some cases, or at least Nagash does. We've got this war in the underworld. So that's a thing that's happened. Going through Nagash, who's that badass there. Probably the single most powerful being in the underworld, and then you've got Sigmar, probably the most powerful being in the Realm of Light. Whether which one's more powerful, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it probably looks like Nagash, but who knows? But it basically goes through the hatred that lingers between Nagash and Sigmar has been festering for eons. On more than one occasion, the two have been allies, but betrayals and insults have soured the relationship. Now this rivalry is erupting into all-out war. The armies of Sigmar and Nagash gather in even greater force to do battle. So that's pretty cool. So there's a whole pull-out there. Yeah. It explains on the Sigmar page who Sigmar is, and on the Nagash page who Nagash is. So there's a lot of cool background there. When it goes into the Night Haunts, raised from the dead by Nagash's magical experiments, the Night Haunts are birthed forth from grave and barrow. Their ice-cold claws and scything blades have already carved a path of death and terror across the mortal realms. So it goes through what the Night Haunts are and what their army is. It's kind of more of a ghostly army than a skeletal army, although it does have elements of the skeletal army in there. Got some awesome pictures, some more stuff there. Go through the chain rasps, which are these kind of navy battleship kind of greeny colour, which is quite cool, kind of a deep sea green, which is fairly awesome. It goes through who they are. The Vengeful Dead, Galoghasts, Grave Maidens, and Yorick the Wicked. So it gives you an explanation of who they are. Giving some more personality to each model. Krieth was once a soldier who murdered his commander in return for riches, only to die in chains. In death, he is eager to unleash his chains of followers upon the living. Yorick the Wicked. Yorick's life as a bandit ended in the dark depths of a forgotten dungeon. Death provided no release for his torment, for his chains are heavier than they were in life. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, basically loads of cool, weird stuff going on there. Check that out. We've got the how to build here. How to build, I imagine, is going to take up a big chunk of it because you've got, yeah, you've got how to build all the sequitors. That's not too bad actually. And how to build the chain rasps. How to paint your miniatures. It's got some basic details there on what painting is, but not much more. I imagine you will get a lot more to that as they add paints to it. And here we have the Eve of Battle, which is, oh, where are we? Yeah, Eve of Battle, which is, as we expect, a nice story explaining how this works. Here we can see them set up. They're nice and close. The reason you can get away with this smaller battlefield, at least to begin with, is Sigmar is a skirmish game or a mass armies game of ancient / fantasy army. So most stuff is hand to hand, most stuff is about getting in there. You don't have the distance battle that you would have in, for example, 40k. So you can get away with closer stuff. So that's pretty cool. You've got the stats of how attacks work with the sequitors attacking and piling in, and you've got the rest there. And you've got the stats of how the chain rasps work with the chain rasps attacking and piling in, both there and there. You don't have the specific, specific profiles for those units, but no doubt those profiles will follow shortly. But even if they don't, it's worth noting that in the Age of Sigmar game, all the profiles were, and I think still are, available for free on GW's website. So you don't have to buy a bunch of books to play it. You can just literally play a lot of this stuff out the box. And the base rules of Age of Sigmar are smaller than this magazine. There's a ton of extra rules, but the actual fundamental rules have been kept deliberately small. Got an advert there advising us to subscribe to the Mortal Realms. And then on the back page, not next week, issue 2 when it comes out, read about the Night Haunt, new playthrough game, and you'll have 3 Night Haunt models, which are these scary women there, who work with the Mortarch of Grief, which is one of the main generals. Sigmar has a lot of badasses, but so does Nagash. He has a lot of generals. They're called Mortarchs. Some came from the Ancient Realms, such as the Von Karsteins and Neferutis. Some, those guys were undead in the old world, and they've been brought back to undeath, or they survived after a fashion in this realm. Some are new ones. He's raised the Mortarch of Grief, and there is a sort of construct Mortarch, which is just making its way to GW as we speak. There's some beings which are basically bones and skin and stuff nailed together, which have never really been alive but have been imbued with undeath, which we're going to be seeing soon. The Night Haunt army really, the Night Haunt army, my brain, come here you, literally just read the words. Yeah, the Night Haunt army, here's a Night Haunt, as is probably the current new undead, but they're not being superseded. Another faction with the undead armies coming through. They're really throwing a lot into the undead, which is really cool because there's a lot of lore there. What are these called? Mirrormorn Banshees, that's it. Mirrormorn Banshees. They work with the Mortarch of Grief and are really scary. Then in issue 3, we can see we have Stormcast reinforcements. Read about Stormcast Eternals. Both issues have paints. Corex White for issue 2. Retributor armor for issue 3. I've spoken about Retributor before. It's probably one of the best golds out there because they were painting the whole guy's gold, and gold has always traditionally been a tricky paint. They've really worked on making sure that paint, but their gold is top notch. You've got Castigator and Gryph-hounds. So you've got the Castigator there and 2 guys with bolt throwers there. So you can see already there's a certain similarity between it and 40k. This is an early release thing. The other one, the original one's not going to be out for, the actual release isn't going to be out for a while. So that's pretty cool. It's got, we've gone more than halfway through the Conquest. So if you're collecting both, you've only got 30 weeks of Conquest. Well, it's supposed to be 80 episodes in total. We're on 53 of Conquest. So you've got 27 weeks of Conquest left and a bunch of stuff on this. I haven't yet seen the full thing, but I imagine the army's going to be fairly similar size. And I haven't yet seen how many issues they're going to be, although I imagine it's going to have a similar thing. Issue 3. Let's have a look. Does it say here anyway? Whereas see binders available, cost $8.99. Issue 3, when you subscribe to issue 2, get issue 3 for free. So if you do the subscription, you'll get the bit for scraping off mould lines, you'll get some glue and some clippers. Your issue 2 you'll pay for, and issue 3 you'll get for free. You'll get binders and dividers. You'll get a Citadel painting handle. You'll get an entire brush set and Agenor Sigmar glass tankard or beer cup with your 7th delivery. So that's pretty damn cool. It's not saying how many issues there are in total. moisten here. No. Do we have that number? Is it mentioned in this book? You'd think it would be, but no. We're not giving a specific number anywhere in this book. Perhaps that's on purpose. No, it is not giving a specific number in here, but I'd imagine it's going to be something similar to the Conquest, as Conquest and Booth has been very successful. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, you get this cool plastic ruler. These are nifty. They're measured in inches. They go up to 12 inches. And the cool thing about them is you can see through them. So if you're measuring something, you can see whatever it is. You can see whatever it is you're measuring, and you can see its base. So it allows you to actually measure exactly. Cost-wise, on this issue number 1, the Sequitors is an easy build set, and that comes in at £10. The dice probably worth £1 or £2 of anyone's money for the nice D6. The chain rasps coming at £25. These things they've been handing out for free since they bought out AOS, so I don't know how much they cost, if they cost anything. The magazine itself, again, it's hard to put a price on the magazine, but with this and the big poster, how tricky they are to get, you're probably looking at about £5 worth of any money there, of anybody's money there. Again, I tend to think the magazines, as they go on, have been worth, I guesstimate, worth about £2, maybe 3 or 4. Given the price of magazines, it's hard to sort of guess. Some come out practically free. Others you're paying like £7 or £8 for, and not getting that, not getting anywhere near as much cool stuff as you would with these part builds. But yeah, the models themselves, you're looking at 25 quid's worth of models with this magazine alone, so that's pretty cool. Add everything else, probably looking at about 30 quid's worth of stuff, all for the price of £2.99 for the first issue. It doesn't have all the paints that you got with the first issue of Conquest. People may remember that you got 3 paints with it for $1.99, which had people buying 4 or 5 issues just for the paints. You had 3 Reavers with 3 Primaris Marines with it, a big battle board and a bunch of other stuff. This has shifted a lot the other way. A lot more of the money here is invested in the models, but I suspect that is because they want you to get fighting straight away. As I said, I've made a couple of attempts to collect Sigmar, Agenor Sigmar previously because the game is really cool. I haven't had enough money to do that and other things, so I've had to drop it by the wayside. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these, but I'm going to give these ones away now. So these are the ones that are going to be given away. So if you put your name at the bottom of, if you comment at the bottom of this video, I will send you this. One of the reasons I'm only giving away one more so is it costs money to send these things, and I, at this point, am painfully aware I'm not made of money. About to change jobs, hopefully that'll sort itself out, but everything is costing. The NHS has cut back so much, my dentist has just told me I can't have a dentist anymore, and there isn't another one in the city I live that's taking on NHS patients, so welcome to Britain. Welcome to austerity Britain. But yeah, hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there, and please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.